Emma's Universe podcast. Emma's Universe podcast. Hello and welcome to Emma's podcast. So, it's a happy Monday. I know it's like, oh, Emma, you're in slow motion. No, Emma is not in slow motion yet. So in today's episode, I want to invite you into a gentle metaphor that can change how you see your life. Yes, the season of the soul. This is our episode for today, so let's get started. Just like nature shifts from winter to spring, from summer to autumn, our inner world also cycles through seasons. Sometimes we are blossoming, sometimes we are shedding, sometimes we are resting. Each season has a purpose, even if it doesn't always feel the way in that moment. No, sometimes it doesn't actually. Sometimes it's the reverse. So today we're going to journey through these seasons together. Winter, spring, summer, and autumn, or fall if you prefer. Of the soul. I explore what each means and how to recognize the seasons you're in and how to honor it instead of resisting it, because we have a tendency to do that. Let's be honest, guys. We have a tendency to resist. If it doesn't go our way, we're going to go and have a temper tantrum. Been there, done that. I'm not going to say I'm accustomed to it, but I had moments where I was in winter, then I had to fight it because I didn't want it to be in winter. I wanted to get going. So, winter of the soul. Let's start with winter, the season many of us try to avoid. I was one of them as well. In the soul winter, life can feel cold, still, and stripped down. Maybe it's time when relationships have shifted or opportunity has ended, you might feel isolated. Like the world is frozen around you. Yes, you enter the frozen land, the winterland. But just like nature's winter, this season has a purpose. Restoration. Trees lose their leaves not because they are dying, but because they are conserving energy, sending nourishment deep into their roots. Winter teaches us to slow down, to turn inward, and to rest. So if you're in a winter season right now, maybe you're grieving, healing, or simply pausing. The invitation is not to fight it, but ask yourself, how can I honor this stillness? What inner work is calling for my attention? Winter reminds us that silence and emptiness are not failure. They are secret preparation for what comes next. And like I said earlier into the podcast, we have a tendency to want to fight it. We have a tendency to we need to be on the go. We need to create. We need this. But we have to go through the cycle in order for us to move on to the next level. When we're done with the cycle, we need to go into that pause or temporary pause where we can regroup, we can re-energize ourselves, we can actually take care of ourselves. That is so important, and we have a tendency to forget. I forgot to take care of myself. I take care of everybody else's and everything that moves and breathes except myself. And I kept burning myself out. So, in order to do that, we're going to learn to pause. We're going to learn to heal. We're going to learn to rest. Not like we're going to be sitting down and eating potato chips and watch TV. We could do that, not bad. But at least we can take time to breathe, time to rejuvenate ourselves, time to get back into our own skin, to ground ourselves. This is so essential. So that is necessary for us to go to the next cycle. The winter is necessary to do that. The winter of the soul. It's like every single season, if you're looking at Earth, most of the countries experience seasons, okay? Some can be the 4 seasons, some can be 2 seasons, which is the summer and it's the rain. But we're experiencing changes that is necessary for us and for Mother Nature to come back stronger. Like I was looking at the iris I got here. And when I arrived last year, the iris that I saw, first of all, weeds were all around those poor iris. So they were not very tall, but they were fighting to get out of the ground. Taking care of them, starting to trim around them, while this year, oh good Lord, this is a full show. Instead of being below the knee, they were way above the knees, and for weeks on, they were blooming. And then they lost their flowers, so I cut the stem as well, but they are still strong because what they're doing right now, which they're approaching to the winter season, they are I forgot in English. They are sucking into the sun and continue to get stronger within their roots. And I forgot the word. I will find the word later on and probably share it with you. But during the winter time, they had a time to rest before they came back stronger. They needed that. The same with the trees. Or, I wouldn't say the crops, but some of the crops are engineer seeds, so you don't get that renewal. But if you're looking at wild berries, it's the same way. They will disappear during the winter and come back stronger in the spring and the summer. So think about the winter as a time of self-care. That's how you should associate winter of the soul. Self-care. What can I do to nurture myself? That is what is necessary for us to go to the next cycle, to the next season. That's what we're talking about. So, if you're in that season, don't freak out, don't be upset, which I know some of us can be extremely upset, say, oh crap, I gotta do this, and I want to move to the next season, I want to be in spring and summertime. No. Take the time to be present and start to take care of yourself. You make so much progress when you do that. Dang it on that. I tried to push, it never worked actually. I got my butt kicked at the end of the day. That's the only thing I got kicked. So hitting the wall over and over and over, try to open a door that is closed. Good luck with that. Doesn't work at all. So now let's talk about the spring of the soul. Because after winter then comes spring. And with it, a sense of renewal. In this season, you start to feel sparks of inspiration again. Ideas bloom, possibilities open, and hope returns. Just as flowers push through the soil, after months of dormancy, your soul begins to reach toward the light. Spring is the season of beginnings. Starting a new project, opening yourself to love again, stepping into a new chapter. It's exciting, but it's also tender. Just like seeding needs protection from late frost, our spring beginning needs patience and nurturing. So if you feel like you're in a soul spring, ask what wants to grow within me. Where am I being called to take a risk, to plant seed for my future? Spring is about saying yes to growth, even if you don't yet see the full harvest. It is planting the seed. It is nurturing. It's like having a project. When you have a project, let's say the very simple project, you want to paint the room. That is your spring one. What do you need to do? Well, you need to go, and first of all, you need to find the color you want to paint the walls, which in some cases, I'm excluding for myself on this one, because when I go to paint store, I already know what I want. I go straight to the wall and I picked it up and I'm done. Some people go to the store and look at all of the colors and they spend hours to decide what they want. This is your spring moment where you are planting the seed. I need to paint, so what do I need? What do I need? The paint, so I need the color. What the style of the paint, because you got different styles from flat to shiny. You also have to figure it out. What do I need as accessories? Because you're going to need the accessories. You need your pen brush, you need your rollers, the flat brush, the tray. What do you need? So you're planting the seed, but you're putting everything together because this is what you need to have. And you're going to start to do what you're going to do at home. But in that spring moment, and we always plant the seeds. It's like the kids, or if you want somebody to do something and you have an idea, but if you bring the idea directly, the person will reject it, so you make them think it's their idea, so you're planting the seed, an idea. Maybe we could do this, maybe we could do that, maybe, and fill out the blank, not open up the blank, but fill out the blank. So think of the spring as the opportunity to do something new. What does it feel to be in springtime? Because if you're looking at the season we've got, spring you feel exhilarated, you feel excited because there is so many things you can do. There is a sense of renewal that is right there. And people, and we all have it, or most of us have it, is that hope and that excitement and that joy. And as we go through it, then we get that excitement is there, and we get the drive, and we are open, and we want to do things. So this is spring for us. This is what spring is. But ask those questions, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? You have, when you're in a spring of the soul, you have the possibility to create whatever you want, regardless of your outer conditions. Your imagination, your drive can really move mountains, seriously. But think about it. Think about what you want to do and get going. Yes, even if you don't see the full harvest, because the harvest will come afterwards. Yes. So let's talk about the summer of the soul. Yes, after the spring, then there is summer, the season of fullness and abundance. This is when you feel alive, aligned, and flourishing. Maybe your work is thriving, your relationship feels strong, or you're simply savoring life with gratitude. You are grateful for what you have. You're enjoying it. You're smiling from years to years. You cannot help yourself but have that little light steps in your walk. You are enjoying fully where you are. Summer invites us to celebrate, to stand in the sun of our own becoming and say, yes, this is who I am. But summer also carries a reminder. Don't rush past joy. Too often, we move so quickly that we don't pause to notice the blessings that are already here. So if you are in a soul summer, meaningfully, and ask, how can I savor this moment? What can I celebrate today? Not just when I reach the next milestone. Summer reminds us that joy is not something we earn, it's something we allow. So the summer of our soul is really being present in the moment. It's not projecting ourselves in a fear, because a lot of people have a tendency to do it, been there, done that, to go into the future because I want to be there, I want to enjoy. Enjoy where you are. Even if it's uncomfortable, enjoy where you are. Enjoy the moment of gratitude, the simple moment. I'm enjoying it every day. I'm always surprised to see things changing and becoming. To look at the ground, look at the trees, look at the birds, the pelican, glide. The glitter too. They glide on the lake. It's just beautiful. it's taking the time to look at the pups, and they're always doing something crazy every day. They always do something funny every day. But it's amazing to watch them. Like yesterday, I watched Daddy. I was playing tennis, and funny enough, they both have different size of the ball. She got a regular tennis ball. He got the baby one, the 2 inches. So it's easier for them because they know which one is theirs, which makes it easier, actually. There is no fight on this one. But it was funny because I grabbed the one from Daddy, and I was playing, and I watched her, and it's like, when she runs past me, it's like a horse. The way she's extremely strong, and you can hear her galloping at that point to go and grab it. And by the time she reaches it, she slides on the grass to grab it. Those are the moments when I observe all of them. It was the little one doing things, and I'm laughing because it's awesome to see how they're doing things. It's just being present, and I really enjoy those moments because we have a tendency to, pass. You reach something. Maybe you're making a recipe. Maybe you painted that room that was now so beautiful, and you feng shui your room. You change everything. It looks so nice. And you're done, and you don't even sit down and appreciate the moment and see the transformation. You just, okay, I'm going to go to the next one. Take the time to slow down and be present. Being the summer of the soul is really being present and noticing. It's amazing when you take the time to sit in a room, and there was Sonia Choquette who had that exercise, and it's so interesting. You be in your office or wherever you are, and you start to observe what's in your room. There is things that we pass and we ignore, and then also then you're looking at a painting, looking at a picture frame, looking at the desk, and you're noticing details that were not there. And you appreciate those details, like, oh God, I know that. I don't remember that. Oh my, I noticed something different. It's being present in a moment and enjoy it. So, if you're in the summer of the soul, enjoy where you are. Just bask into that beautiful energy. Now we're going to talk about, after the summer, then comes the autumn or fall, the season of letting go. Autumn is rich with colors, but it's also about release. Leaves fall not because the tree is weak, but because it is wise enough to know that it can carry everything forever, which is so true. In a soul autumn, you might feel called to release old habits, relationship, or version of yourself that no longer serves you. Letting go is rarely easy. It can feel like loss, but it creates space for what's next. Yeah, next, not next. Next. I forgot my T at the end. If you sense you're in the open, reflect. What am I holding on to at this time? And what do I need to release? What is my soul asking me to surrender? Autumn reminds us that endings are not failure, they are transformation. I will not be here today if I didn't lose my home and my life wasn't turned upside down. Could have get done better actually than what it was, but sometimes we like drama in our life, and I just made it a big huge movie on this one. But thinking about what needs to be released is to let go of what no longer serves us. It could be a relationship, it could be friendship, it can be at work. Maybe we all do. We outgrow our work, our position where we are. We need to move to the next level. So we need to let it go. Instead than holding on to dear life, then take that leap of faith to realize, well, I have outgrown that job. Now let's go for something else. And I know it's going to change the routine, change our habits, and we don't like it because, we go outside of our little bubble and comfort zone. But if we do, it's amazing to see the transformation because we go to the next level. This is what we're here for. We're here to change and evolve and mature and grow. So we need that transformation. And autumn is not a failure. Okay? Relationship will collapse no matter what. Trying to re-glue them together will be and bring in more toxicity. Letting it go is not a failure. A failure of a marriage is it's not a failure. People see marriage and divorce as failure. It's like, well, if you married someone who wasn't the right person at the beginning, or evolution made that you needed that person in your life until a certain point, this is what happened in your life. People see it as failure. It's maybe not a failure because you need to change, you need to evolve, you grow, and this is what's happening. So, autumn or fall is not a failure. It's time to peel the layers of ourselves to discover who we truly are. And that is something, I would say, with the winter, those are the two seasons of the soul who are, I would say, the hardest one, because a lot of people don't want to be in those seasons. And it's not, sometimes it's not that fun as well to be in there, but it's necessary for who we are. Now, let's talk of which season of the soul are you in right now. Winter is quiet, spring is renewal, summer is abundance, and autumn is release. Remember that no season is permanent. Winter doesn't last forever, and summer will return again. Each one carries wisdom, and each one is necessary. If you're in a winter rest, if you're in a spring plant, if you're in summer, celebrate. If you're in autumn, release. And trust that just like in nature, the cycle continues. As you move through your own seasons, may you honor the timing of your soul and know that you are always exactly where you need to be. Thank you for joining me today. Until next time, may you embrace the season you are in and trust the beauty of what's yet to come. All my love, guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye now.
chill. Peace. Joy.